Welcome back to Newsday here on Arise News. Onome Adene, one of the NSAS protesters, has been allegedly arrested and also detained by the police, according to relatives. According to reports, he was reportedly picked up from Allen Avenue, his house on Allen Avenue in Lagos, over the weekend for his involvement in the protest. Onome, who is currently battling with a liver problem, in a series of tweets claimed that he was whisked away by officers from the Area F Command Ikeja and has not been formally charged. Well, Onome sister, Onome Adene, joins us now in the studio for more on this story. Onome, many thanks for joining us on Newsday today. Firstly, I am extremely sorry about what you are having to go through, and I do appreciate you taking out the time to speak to us. I think it's important that we start off this way. Can you, in your own words, tell us exactly what happened when your brother, Onome, was taken away by officers of the Nigeria Police Force?
Okay, so thank you for having me, first off. On Saturday, the 7th, I got a call from a man where he said he was a former church member and they had gone to our church at GRA and noticed that we were no more there. Our church used to be at GRA. Before the lockdown, we moved to Ipaja. So he has come to where we stay. He's at Allen right now. I'm like, okay, a parcel for my dad. Yes, we have left the church, so the story checks. We stay at Allen, the story checks. He says he's at Sholanke. I don't know where Sholanke is, so I tell him to come to First Bank bus stop. He says he doesn't know First Bank bus stop. So I tell him to come to the front of First Bank. He's there, tells me he's there. Then I come out. I realize that I can't really place his face, but then benefit of doubt, I may not know everybody in my father's church. So I walk up to him, and then the package he's holding doesn't look like a package, doesn't look like a parcel as such. So I just ask him, how can I help you? It wasn't a question of what package you have for my dad. It was, how can I help you? And then he says he's looking for Peter. That's my brother's English name. Okay, you're looking for Peter, why? While I'm still asking, the next thing it says is, there are 3 men, these are my guys. And I turn around and I see 3 men. This time I'm surrounded by 4 men. One of them shows me a police ID card. And then he says he wants to come to my house. I should lead him to my house, that they know Onome is in my house. Why will I take you to my house? I don't know you. Yes, one of you has shown me a police ID card, but I can't take you to my house. Why exactly are you looking for my brother? And he says they had a transaction with him. They bought some goods from him. They sent money to his Zenith bank account, and he didn't deliver the goods. My brother doesn't sell anything. He's a musician, and he's a philanthropist. He doesn't sell anything. So I told him, man, that story doesn't add up. Why exactly are you looking for my brother? While I'm still talking trying to hold them off for like 20 minutes, over 20 minutes, the next thing I see, 3 hillocks full of policemen, armed. Some of them were even wearing helmets like they were going to war. Some of them were wearing caps, some of them were wearing helmets, guns that I've never seen in my life, tear gas, pistols, assault rifles. Everybody, two hillocks were on my side of the road. That's the front of the First Bank, and then one was on the other side. And then their boss comes down, and he's raking. At this time, he's shouting on me. Why are you delaying? Don't you know you're hindering? Or you're... I'm already trembling. At this time, he's shouting, saying all sorts of things, and then he orders me to get into the truck. I'm like, I can't go into that car. I'd rather walk. So I talked to the man that made the call. And I'm like, okay, my place is not far. Let's just go. I was trembling. It was like a movie. So we walked to my house. One of the 4 men that surrounded me stood in front of my gate so that when the other 2 Hilux truck make the U-turn at Allen and come to my house, they know the exact apartment we entered. Now they come into my house and they ask for my brother. They are still saying, thank God my mom was at the front of my place at that particular time. So I just signaled to her to come upstairs. So everybody's, where's your ID card? what exactly do you want my brother for? And they kept on saying they had a transaction with him and he didn't deliver the goods. I maintained that that's not possible, that story is not true. Then their leader, CSP Hamzat, he starts talking. And I remember the lawyer, we started making calls, so some people came, a lawyer came, and the lawyer asked him, are you here to effect an arrest? And he said no. Even after saying no, they still whisked my brother away that same day. Still under the disguise. There was no proof of any transaction, let me add. There was no proof of any transaction. So you lie and you deceive to arrest somebody. Where is that even done? So they take him to CSP office behind Area F, GRA. He's there for the whole of Saturday. Sunday morning, we go to church. And then after service, we hear that he was moved to Panti in Yaba. Panti in Yaba for what? I mean, he's not a criminal. You haven't even charged him with anything. You haven't even said anything. So why will you take him to Panti? We started making noise. And later that day, he was moved back. He was moved to Area F. Next thing, okay, our lawyer, the lawyer and my mom were in contact with him. They went with him on Saturday when he was carried. So on Sunday, they saw him again. On Monday, the lawyer went there. Monday morning, the lawyer went there, only for him to hear that my brother had been moved to an unknown location. We started making noise. We already had heads up that he may be transferred to Abuja, so we started making calls to get people in Abuja on ground. About almost 2 hours later, they called the lawyer and they tell the lawyer he was transferred. He has been transferred to Abuja. So we start making calls again. The lawyer has to go to Abuja to meet him. He wasn't fed throughout that day. Since Saturday, he had been eating once, so he doesn't upset his stomach because he said he didn't want to use their toilets, right? So Saturday, ate just once, Sunday, ate just once. You move somebody from Lagos to Abuja without his lawyer knowing, without anybody knowing, and you still don't feed him. You didn't remember to feed him. He had to ask for food at 6 in the evening before he was fed.
All right. Let me come in here. I gather, yes, that he's been moved to Abuja and that he's been taking, at a point he was taken to the FCID clinic on Monday. That is Obono, his lawyer, saying this, that his client was not treated well while he was in Lagos. So what is his state now? Is he out of the clinic? And what was he taken to the clinic for? What ailment?
He was complaining that he had abdominal pains. He has had a liver issue 2 years ago. So it's possible that's why. It's possible he was weak. It's possible his blood sugar level was low. Anything could have made him go to the clinic, but he complained that he wasn't feeling too good, he wasn't feeling too well, that he needed to go to the clinic. So they took him to the clinic. But I still heard that yesterday he was complaining that he was having abdominal pains.
Okay. This all sounds very draconian, unconstitutional, and definitely undemocratic. And sorry again that you have to go through this. Where exactly is your brother now, do you know? And also, can you just explain to us, to what extent was your brother involved in the #EndSARS protest movement?
My brother is in Abuja now, confirmed. Still the FCID Area 10. He's still there. His involvement with the EndSARS protests, like every other protester, he was there because he loves his country. He was there because he wanted a better Nigeria, which we all do. He was there because he's passionate about his country. He is a philanthropist, like I said before. His pet project is called Belleful Naija. It's on Instagram. Belleful Naija with the Roms. he feeds the less privileged, he feeds the hawkers on the streets, he does clothing projects where he clothes people, clothes the less privileged. We go to motherless babies' homes, we go to Home of the Blind, we go to different places. This is the kind of person that he is. This is what he does. So obviously, when something like this comes up, I wasn't surprised that he went to lend his voice, really. So like every other person on the protest ground, my brother was just a protester, someone that is passionate about his country. That's all. Though there was a flyer that came out. There was supposed to be another protest on Saturday, the day he was picked up. There was a flyer that came out, and the flyer had his number on it. It had 2 numbers on it. The second number was his number. I don't know who won the first. He said he wasn't the one that made that flyer. So it's possible. It's possible. Maybe this was a setup. It's possible. Because why will you put your number out there, knowing fully well that they are looking for a ringleader, a scapegoat, or something? So he did not make that flyer. He did not put his number on that flyer, but his number was on the flyer. And the Saturday protest was supposed to be in honor of the lives that were lost in the previous protests. So that's his involvement with the protest.
And honestly, it's all just sounding so bizarre. I mean, this is now Thursday, and all of this started on Saturday. Yeah. I have to ask you, what has your brother's lawyer had to say about this at this point in time? What is the status of what is going on right now? What's the latest update?
The first time they tried to apply for bail, he wasn't granted bail. They've not said anything. They've not said why they are holding him. They've not charged him with anything. They are not even saying anything. They are treating him well, and that is because this has become a public matter. But they have not said anything. You either say something or you charge him to court with whatever you have on him and with proof. Else, why are you holding him since Saturday? That's how many hours?
Oh, yeah, just like you said, the spokesperson of FCID, when contacted, said that all that needs to be known is that your brother is safe. He was talking to his lawyer, Obono. But let me ask you this before we let you go, Onome. What's your next line of action, both your lawyer and your family and you?
Everybody's just working to bring him out. He's my baby brother. He's the only boy. He's the last child. He's just 27. So everybody's working to bring him out. That's our only concern. That's our next line of action. That's all we are trying to do, and all we are going to continue to do until they bring Onome Adene home.
Indeed, and if you had an opportunity to speak to President Muhammadu Buhari, who has consistently said in the last couple of days that the concerns, the issues raised by the NSAS protesters were legitimate, what would you say to President Muhammadu Buhari now?
I still maintain that this is not the way to go. We are your citizens. We are your people. Consider yourself as our father. We are your children. You shouldn't instill fear in your children. You should instill love. You should bring us close to you. This is not the way to handle this. If you're trying to avoid a protest, what you're doing will only bring up, arouse more protest. It won't be anybody instigating the people. It will be you instigating the people unknowingly. So this is not the way to go. Release Onome Adene, release every other person that has been arrested, because they are all innocent. They are only exercising their fundamental human rights, and it is constitutional and it is allowed.
Absolutely. It is constitutional and it is allowed. That is the most important message that we have to send across. Many thanks to you, Onome Adene, for joining us today on Newsday. I'm sure it's not easy on you. Much appreciated for your time.